Hi.
Hi, I'm talking about the implementation year that just passed at Duke with Pebble Pack. My title was written on a day when I was stressed out from having to help somebody, I don't even know, with the consultation process, and I felt like I was in Downton Abbey, like the high touch, I'm going to clean this up for you. I was really freaking out. That's all I had to say. Keep going. So what emerges afterwards is that I have. There's touch the mouse. Yeah, I don't think this is advancing. You guys, I may have to do this. You may have to scream at me. Okay, I'm gonna just move it. So a lot of other metaphors came up because it's not just for professors and students. We had a bunch of special snowflakes, kind of white glove treatment, thrown in way too many metaphors, right? Where I had to implement training and information to a bunch of different groups on campus. And the last white glove here is the hard hat area of trying to implement portfolios and a new system. My current metaphor is baseball team. And that's because after a year of having people trained, talking about it and piloting, I'm finally at the place where I can get them to work together as a community. Back up a little bit, Duke is not a portfolio school. There's pockets across campus. With the rapid onset after a 10-year search of Pebble Pad on campus, we are a portfolio campus and it's my job to get everyone to do it. So we formed an implementation team with the usual suspects. We met every 2 weeks. The only thing that's special here is we have 3 faculty mentors who work with me at 5 hours a week to help usher people through the process. So these are the goals that we as an implementation team talked about and set forward at the beginning of our work. I'll get into detail. The most important things we did was take a month to think about who are our stakeholders, why does this matter, what are our case studies, what are going to be our barriers. And once we discussed this with the help of Pebble Pad and ourselves, we were able to actually go about figuring out what our goals were. One of the things that we realized is we have a weird reason for getting portfolios, which ends up in the same place everybody else is. We needed to get rid of chalk and wire and weave. We're using Pebble Pad for university assessment. Secondly, we really are interested in breaking the barriers of advising and mentoring by getting it in front of freshmen in other areas than just a me portfolio. We also are interested in making sure we have integration across staff, students, and faculty for course, personal, and departmental portfolios. And finally, the students. What's wrong with us? We're doing this all backwards, but we'll work on it from there. Our timeline got changed a zillion times. The pilot year has become the pilot 2 years. You know the story. Communications. I won't get into the long story, but somehow I had to develop 2 websites. Don't do that. Just don't do that. We had an email list that started at 60 people, is now close to 200. Technical integration is the bane of my existence. Getting PeopleSoft data to work in the way we needed it to just happened 2 weeks ago after starting last April. Pilot participants, we hit up the people who are already using portfolios, any emergent certificate programs. Those people I know will always adopt something. And then student services we've been pushing. Assessment, that lovely word. How do we know if we were successful? How do we know if we're done? That changed a lot this year. The most successful thing we did was to have targeted interviews with different segments and populations at Duke that touch this project. Consultation. My normal job is not this. I was dedicated 50% to this, and I spent 20 hours a week in consultation or training, learning that teaching the platform is the least important thing when you're not a portfolio school, and even if you are, even for my portfolio users, heavy users, I had probably like 3 or 4 consultations with them. Year 2, yay, it's here. Guess what? We're going to talk to students now. It really is about the students. We just backwards design. That's the answer. That's what we were doing. I have to stop doing everything. So university-wide office hours, help, support, and we're really going to be focusing on helping Birds of a Feather group get into the portfolio stuff and more in depth with each other, with their peers. We're doing that for advising, language teaching, field work, interdisciplinary kind of certificates, so they can help each other. And whoops, not what I want. Enter. And finally, I'm going to have one website in a matter of weeks. Going to move towards having targeted press releases and individualized information for different groups on campus. And we're going to measure success with actually the number of people touched, the number of workspace created, and the number of portfolios. Why did we decide that? I'm just not going to get into it. Thank you so much. I don't think I was 5 minutes.